Picture this, a world where traffic jams are a distant memory, where the morning commute isn't a soul-crushing crawl, but a breathtaking soar above the city. For decades, flying cars have been the stuff of dreams, gleaming promises in sci-fi films, tucked away in the imaginations of visionaries. But now, that dream has landed. And it's not coming from some far-off future. It's here. It's real. And it's shockingly affordable. China has just unveiled the world's first $4,999 flying car. And it's not just a prototype. It's a game-changer that's about to rewrite the rules of transportation. At a price cheaper than a used sedan, this isn't a toy for billionaires. It's a revolution for everyday people. Buckle up, because this is the story of how China is taking the skies and leaving the world speechless. Let's set the scene. In a dazzling display at a massive international trade fair, with the world's eyes glued to the stage, China revealed its latest marvel. A sleek, futuristic vehicle that looks like it was ripped straight from a Hollywood blockbuster. This isn't some clunky drone or a glorified helicopter. It's a fully electric, vertical takeoff and landing marvel called the SkyDrive X5. Yes, you heard that right. A car that drives on the road, sprouts wings, and soars into the sky for just $4,999. With a top speed of 150 miles per hour and a range of 200 miles on a single charge, this isn't just a gimmick. It's a bold leap into a future where the sky is the new highway. And while other countries are still sketching concepts or arguing over regulations, China is already flying circles around them. Why is this such a big deal? Let's break it down. For years, the idea of a flying car has been laughed off as a pipe dream. Too expensive, too dangerous, too impractical. But China didn't just build a flying car. They made it affordable. At $4,999, it's cheaper than most electric bikes, laptops, or even a fancy vacation. This isn't a luxury for the elite. It's priced for the masses. Imagine a world where a college student, a small business owner, or a teacher could own a vehicle that lets them skip rush hour and glide over the chaos below. That's the kind of disruption we're talking about. A seismic shift that could make traffic jams as obsolete as flip phones. Now let's talk about the SkyDrive X5 itself, because this thing is a masterpiece of engineering. Picture a sleek, teardrop-shaped vehicle with aggressive, glowing headlights and a carbon fiber body that's as light as a feather, but tough enough to handle the skies. It's got traditional wheels for cruising down the street, but when it's time to fly, retractable wings unfold, and it lifts off vertically. No runway, no helipad, just pure jaw-dropping innovation. The cockpit is fully enclosed, giving it the feel of a proper aircraft, not some oversized drone. And here's the kicker. It's got two modes. Want to feel like a pilot? Switch to manual and take control. Prefer to sit back and enjoy the ride? Flip to autonomous, and the car does the work for you. This isn't just a vehicle, it's a glimpse into a future where commuting feels like an adventure. But let's not get lost in the glamour. This is about more than just a cool design. The SkyDrive X5 is fully electric, which means it's not just fast, it's clean. No guzzling fuel, no choking smog. It's part of China's massive push to dominate the green tech revolution, and they're not messing around. With a 25-minute flight time and speeds up to 80 miles per hour in its initial tests, it's already proving it can handle real-world scenarios. Need to zip across town for a meeting? Done. Want to escape the city for a quick getaway? Easy. This isn't some fragile prototype that falls apart after one flight. It's the fifth-generation model, built to last and ready to scale. So how did China pull this off? It's no accident. For over a decade, Chinese companies have been quietly pouring billions into what they call the low-altitude economy. That's the airspace just above our cities, below commercial flight paths, but high enough to dodge the gridlock. It's like a whole new layer of transportation, and China is claiming it like prime real estate. While other nations are stuck in endless debates about safety laws or funding, China's government is all in, backing companies with cash, infrastructure, and a clear vision. They've already loosened airspace restrictions below 300 meters, opening the skies to drones, flying taxis, and now vehicles like the SkyDrive X5. The result? A booming industry that's already worth 56 billion yuan and growing at a blistering 30% per year. But this isn't just about money, it's about ambition. China's not content with dominating electric cars on the ground. They're gunning for the skies, and they're moving at warp speed. The SkyDrive X5 is just the start. Across the country, over 26 provinces are rolling out plans to weave flying cars into daily life. Think emergency medical deliveries zipping to hospitals, commuters soaring over traffic, or tourists taking scenic flights above sprawling cities. This isn't a distant fantasy. It's happening now. In Shanghai, drones are already delivering fresh seafood from offshore platforms, slashing delivery times from overnight to just 3 hours. If drones can do that, imagine what flying cars could unlock. Of course, the skeptics are out there, and they're loud. Flying cars sounds like a recipe for disaster, they say. And sure, there are hurdles. Cities aren't exactly built for aerial traffic. There's no network of landing pads, no air traffic control for flying commuters, and don't even get started on insurance. Safety is a massive concern. Nobody wants a $4,999 flying car crashing into their backyard. And then there's the question of batteries. Right now, the energy density limits how far these vehicles can fly, which is why the SkyDrive X5 is capped at 200 miles. That's impressive, but it's not replacing cross-country road trips just yet. But here's the thing. Every game-changing invention starts with doubters. When the Wright brothers took their first flight, people called them crazy. Early cars were mocked as slower than horses. Even airplanes were dismissed as dangerous toys. The SkyDrive X5 isn't perfect, but it's a massive step forward. China's not pretending all the kinks are worked out. They're taking a methodical approach. They're starting with cargo flights in less populated areas, gathering data, and building trust. It's a safety-first strategy that's already paying off. Just look at the test flights. The SkyDrive X5 aced every risk assessment, earning special permits to fly in real-world conditions. This isn't a stunt. It's a calculated move toward a future where flying cars are as common as taxis. Let's talk about what this could mean for you. Imagine waking up, grabbing your coffee, and stepping into your SkyDrive X5 parked in the driveway. You punch in your destination, the wings unfold, and whoosh, you're airborne. Below, the morning traffic is a chaotic mess, but you're gliding above it all, the city skyline stretching out like a postcard. You land at work in minutes, not hours. Or maybe it's a weekend, and you're flying to a nearby lake for a quick escape. No highways needed. This isn't just about saving time. It's about reclaiming your life from the grind of gridlock. And at $4,999, it's not a billionaire's fantasy. It's something you could actually own. But the impact goes way beyond personal convenience. Flying cars could transform entire industries. Emergency services could reach disaster zones faster, bypassing flooded roads or collapsed bridges. Rural areas, cut off from major cities, could get medical supplies or fresh goods in hours, not days. Businesses could rethink logistics with flying cars delivering high-value cargo directly to customers. And let's not forget tourism. Imagine aerial tours over ancient ruins or bustling megacities, all at a fraction of the cost of a helicopter. China's betting big on this vision, projecting the low-altitude economy to hit 1 trillion yuan by 2026. That's $138 billion of economic firepower, and it's just the beginning. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Is this too good to be true? At $4,999, some people are raising eyebrows. How can something this advanced be so cheap? The answer lies in China's unmatched ability to scale. They've already mastered mass-producing electric vehicles, slashing costs without cutting corners. The SkyDrive X5 uses similar tech: electric motors, advanced batteries, and lightweight materials that China's been perfecting for years. Plus, the government's subsidies and streamlined regulations are keeping prices low. This isn't a one-off publicity stunt. It's a calculated move to flood the market with affordable flying cars and dominate the global stage. But it's not just about price, it's about trust. Flying cars sound thrilling, but they also sound risky. What if something goes wrong mid-flight? China's tackling this head-on with rigorous testing. The SkyDrive X5 has already logged hundreds of flight hours, passing every safety check with flying colors. Autonomous mode, which lets the car fly itself, is designed to minimize human error, and with carbon fiber construction, it's built to withstand the rigors of repeated flights. Regulators are taking their time, ensuring every box is checked before these vehicles hit the mainstream. It's a slow burn, but it's the right call. Nobody wants a flying car that's rushed and reckless. Let's zoom out for a second. This isn't just about one vehicle. It's about a whole new way of life. China's low-altitude economy is creating a blueprint for the world. In Shenzhen, the tech capital that gave us drone giant DJI, local governments are building landing pads, testing air routes, and training pilots. It's a coordinated effort to make flying cars as seamless as catching a bus. And it's not just urban areas. In rural regions, drones are already spraying crops and delivering supplies, solving problems that ground transport can't. If drones can transform farming, flying cars could do the same for commuting, shopping, or even date nights. But what about the rest of the world? While China's racing ahead, other countries are playing catch-up. Western nations are tangled in red tape, with aviation laws that haven't budged since the 1940s. It's like trying to fit a spaceship into a horse-drawn carriage. China, with fewer legacy rules, has a massive advantage. They're not just building flying cars. They're building the entire ecosystem, from software to supply chains. And they're not doing it alone. By acquiring foreign tech and partnering with global innovators, China's creating a hybrid approach that's both homegrown and world-class. This isn't copying, it's strategy, and it's working. Let's get emotional for a moment. Think about what this could mean for people's lives. Picture a single mum who spends hours commuting, missing bedtime stories with her kids. With a flying car, She could be home in minutes, tucking them in with time to spare. Or imagine a small business owner in a remote town struggling to get goods to market. A $4,999 flying car could connect them to customers hundreds of miles away, changing their livelihood overnight. These aren't just machines, they're lifelines, unlocking possibilities that ground-bound travel can't touch. That's the kind of hope this technology brings, and it's why the world can't stop talking about it. But it's not all rosy. There's a dark side to this revolution, and we need to face it. Flying cars could deepen inequality if only the wealthy get access to the skies. Urban airspace could become a battleground with corporations fighting for control. And let's not ignore the environmental cost. Mass producing these vehicles will strain resources, even if they're electric. China's addressing these concerns with a focus on sustainability, but it's a tightrope walk. The low-altitude economy could be a utopia or a free-for-all, and the choices made now will shape the future. Still, the momentum is unstoppable. Companies across China are racing to outdo each other, from startups to EV giants. One standout is a firm that's already secured over 1,200 pre-orders for its autonomous flying taxis, with plans to launch commercial services by 2030. Another just completed a 70-kilometer cross-sea flight, cutting a 2-hour car trip to 20 minutes. These aren't hypotheticals. They're real-world wins that prove flying cars are ready to take off. And with venture capital pouring in, 85% of China's aviation investments are now focused on this tech. The sky's the limit. Let's talk about the human side again. Because this isn't just about machines, it's about dreams. Across China, people are starting to see the low-altitude economy as more than a buzzword. It's a chance to break free from the grind, to explore new horizons, to live a little bigger. One university student described her first flight in a similar aircraft as a turning point, a moment that made her feel like anything was possible. Farmers in remote provinces are using drones to transform their crops, earning incomes they never thought possible. These stories aren't just anecdotes. They're proof that this technology is touching lives in ways we can't fully predict. So what's next? China's not slowing down. By 2030, the low-altitude economy is projected to hit 2 trillion yuan, creating millions of jobs and reshaping cities. Flying cars will likely start as premium services, think air taxis for busy execs, but as costs drop, they could become as common as ride shares. Regulators are already mapping out air routes and building digital traffic systems to keep the skies safe. It's a massive undertaking, but if anyone can pull it off, it's China. They've already turned electric cars from a niche to a global standard. Flying cars could be next. Let's end with a challenge. Close your eyes and imagine a world where you're not stuck in traffic, where the sky is your playground, where a $4,999 flying car isn't a fantasy, but a reality. That world is coming, faster than you think. China's not just building vehicles, they're building a future where freedom, speed, and possibility are just a flight away. So what do you think? Are you ready to take the wheel or the wings? The skies are calling, and the revolution has already begun.